Hello, and welcome to the episode of the Road to Greatness podcast. I've decided your name, even though we call it MSRG. I will be rebranding ourselves to Road to Greatness, which was one of my original names, but I wasn't sure. I didn't feel comfortable with it, but now I feel it's fine. Road to Greatness.
Good name.
Now, funny enough, the guy who sometimes calls himself Greatness is not here today. He had to work. We chose to do it on a Sunday. It's all good. We do have our what is it called? Resident Furry here instead. So
Hooray.
Ravioli, give me the formuoli, the furrioli.
Yes. And we have it, but like 2 weeks from now is Furfest. Oh, I forgot what it's called.
FurCon.
FurCon.
Furry Weekend Atlanta.
Yes, that's what it's called. Yeah, FWA.
You looking forward to that, Ryan?
I am. If out of 10, it's like a 5 because I get to hang out with Nathan again. But
That's
all 5 points are from me, baby.
Yeah.
For me, it's like a 9 out of 10. It's literally like every single person I know ever within the furry fandom is going to be there, so that's going to be great and fun. So, it's going to be lit.
All right. Okay, let's think about. For me, let's go to what's been going on. Does anyone want to go first, or you want me to go ahead and take it away?
Take it away.
Okay. Well, for me, recently I think last episode I told I was getting back into painting after I finished the last the Gunpla model, and I did paint like midway through the week.
Did we get some footage of that?
I did get some footage, so I might upload it. But I honestly think this is like my first job I ever did with painting was way better than this one. Honestly, because this one just has so much more detail to it, and I didn't realize when I was picking it out. I was like, man, I already halfway finished it. I finished the funny thing is I picked this up and I finished the ground. And I was like, oh, well, I can finish this one now since I already started on the ground. I pick it up and look at it. I'm like, holy shit, this one's actually going to be pretty difficult. Like, it has scalpers. It had like all these pouches on it. I was like, and then midway
all the
through,
tiny details.
Extremely tiny details. I was like, at midway, like when I was painting it through, I was like, I'm already regretting this. I'm just going to paint like his body blue. And like give some detail to his like armor, some of his armor, and just turn it brown. Like I'll show it, but like I did not enjoy it at all. But well, I enjoyed it, but like I felt like there was a lot of stuff that went into it. Like the fact that some of my paint had liquid in it. You know, like if you let it sit, it's kind of like the oil like raised to the top instead of the paint. And so you have to shake it really well. And I didn't shake it enough sometimes. So sometimes the paint was just not get to my brush. So next time, hopefully, I'm just gonna shake all my paint like vigorously for a minute before I go in and start painting it again. And actually, funny enough, I will be putting, if I decide to put the video in, that will be the first 30 minutes is me painting, or first 30ish minutes, because obviously I'm gonna edit some of the extra stuff out. But yeah,
It'd be like Bob Ross, Second Coming.
Very nice.
We can talk about shows when we get to the next topic. I think that's okay. My sister came in town, but I didn't get to see her, sadly. They did offer me to go stay a night with my brother at his place, but I didn't want to do it because I had work tomorrow. Even though it's kind of a light week, I don't feel comfortable going up there, especially since Justin can't even really take me back to my apartment. So I'm like, I don't want to be there more than I have to be. Also, we had an episode of the podcast to record, so I was like, I'm okay with I kind of want to just record it, put up the episode, and I don't feel comfortable going up there and just staying there and then having to like take all my work stuff and then working. It's just a whole
Yeah, it's
ordeal.
not the most convenient.
Yeah, and it's not like the call is a Slack call because usually we have our meetings. We have someone there in Slack calls. It's not a Slack call. It's like an actual like meeting thing, like kind of like a Zoom call, but it's not Zoom. But I won't go more into detail.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I think I can get into other stuff later. But yeah, all right. So who wants to go next?
I've been having a wondrous time. Ooh,
Oh, go ahead.
Michael.
Continue.
Okay. I don't know how long it's been since I was on the podcast, but recently I have been doing a couple things. The most important of which is I've begun reading a book with Grant. Um, did Grant talk on one of the podcasts, or was he just sitting in during one? I know he was like in there in the past one.
I can't remember if he did. He did speak on that one, right?
He was a part of the podcast.
Yeah,
He was
he
fully
did.
part of it.
Nice. All right, then all of our wondrous viewers will know who Grant is. And he started getting into some writing stuff because he wants to like write some like book stuff, novels. And he was looking at a lot of Brandon Sanderson stuff, which people don't know. He's like one of the biggest fantasy authors. And so he got Mistborn, book by him, and I was like, well, I haven't read a book in I don't know 5 years, so I might as well like. Oh, and my last attempt failed when you, me, and him and whoever else, Michael, tried to read Hyperion,
Oh,
and
yeah, I
I
was
couldn't.
just getting ready to say that. Oh,
Like I
dude, I
couldn't.
loved Hyperion so much.
I
And then
liked
I
the
didn't
first
finish the
story.
second book.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, you're on the second book now.
Yeah, I got the
Nice.
second book like on my own, and I just got like halfway through, and then ended up dropping it.
Yeah, after I got done with the first story, which apparently everyone says is like the best story in
The first story is
Hyperion,
really good.
I was just like I couldn't continue.
Mm.
I did not like it, which was unfortunate. Really good
Some of the
book though,
other
just
stories are
not
good
my
too, though,
taste.
man.
What do you say?
Some of the other stories are like, maybe
Yeah.
not like as like narratively as good, but they're just all the stories are great. Anyway, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
So how's the new book you're reading?
It's going a lot better than Hyperion was.
Okay.
Because it's fantasy and I like reading fantasy.
Yeah.
And yeah, me and Grant have basically been co-reading it a bit and whatever, which is a loose term because Grant got about 12 chapters ahead of me. So I literally spent all day yesterday reading to catch up to him and like other chores and stuff too. But book's good. It's pretty simple and good writing. I was talking to him about it as I was going through it, and for reference for anyone who doesn't know or whatever, like my favorite book series is Game of Thrones, and I really like darker stuff or whatever. And Brandon Sanderson, just going off Mistborn because I haven't read his other stuff. It's a very, very good like introductory to fantasy book in my opinion because
Is
Mistborn
his most famous?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay,
Grant just got it, and I was just
wondering
like,
if I
okay.
knew any other books by him because I didn't recognize the author name.
Oh, he did finish Wheel of Time. He picked up Wheel
Wheel
of
of
Time
Time.
from the guy who was writing it previously because the guy died.
Oh,
But Wheel of Time is one of the most famous fantasy series of all time. But anyway,
I haven't heard of that one.
all that to say, it's like really great book to get you into fantasy reading because it reads simple. It's not hard to read. And it's got nice characters. It's got a neat plot. It's got some cool stuff in it, some cool power system and whatever. And overall, it's been a very good book. It's not something that like is like a wowzer to me, but that's because my tastes are different and pickier. So, but I have been enjoying it still. That's the main thing. The other thing was that I basically no-lifed Civ 3 for a while to try to get better at it after being awful at all Civ games my entire life. I'm actually looking to try out Civ 5 again sometime.
Oh,
And see if I don't hate it this time around because I've always hated playing Civ 5. So, and then there's a FurCon. Oh, okay. Last thing for my life. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I have a fursuit being made. The second one.
Oh, I'm interested
My
to hear
Mighty
the
Ina.
updates.
Yes, I can send you guys the pictures.
Oh,
yeah.
They got the tail and some of the paws and hands done, and
Oh, that's big.
it should by all means be ready by
In time for.
FWA.
Oh, I was gonna say in time for animation, but in time for FWA is even big.
Oh yeah, Animazement too. Let's go. But yeah, she's working on it like a ton right now. The way she does it, she does like one whole fursuit and then moves on to the next usually. And so basically, mine should be done within a week or two. So by FWA,
Heck yeah.
we
that's
hope.
cool.
So yeah, that's about it.
Very nice.
I'll grab the pictures
Yeah.
while you guys talk.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, I'll ask him later. Go ahead, Michael.
I have not been doing too much exciting, except I've been finding myself getting more and more into like. There's some. I don't know why this is how it is, but for both basketball and hockey, NBA and NHL, the playoffs run at exactly the same kind of time span. Like the playoff basketball just started this week, and playoff hockey just started this week. Neither of which I really like care about keeping up to the regular season. But for some reason, when it gets to the playoffs, like it just I don't know, it just gets exciting.
Well,
Like everyone's
it's
actually like
the
going hard. It's like the best of the sport you're gonna watch usually.
yeah, they gotta push it. They want to win. They want to
Yeah,
get it because
yeah,
everything else
exactly.
is just it's just every day. You know, it's like oh okay,
Exactly.
this is their job. When they get to playoffs, it turns to their career.
Oh, that is a nice looking paw.
No context. I'm currently
sorry,
sending Michael the
the
progress pics.
toe beans, pink toe beans.
You can put it in
Common
the
furry lingo. I'm about to
put in
send it to
the
you.
podcast group.
Oh, I can do that. Yeah. Private podcast?
The-
Wait.
Well, no, the podcast group, like
The
with Taylor.
heckin'
Oh,
cool,
right.
the
My bad.
heckin' cool Yin tail is great. Nice.
All right.
But yeah,
Do you want?
I've been watching like a ton of the first round playoff games. It's been fun.
Hmm.
But other than that, not too much crazy.
Are you okay with me like putting this in the episode, Nathan? Like as a snippet?
Sure, I don't care. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for me, that's cool, Michael. Anything else, or know?
No, I don't. If I remember something, I'll interject. But I think that's about it.
all right. I do have a couple more things, and I
Mhm.
do have some questions.
Oh, actually,
yeah.
if you do, maybe let me retake those pictures to not have the creator's like name in them or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, give me a
Nah,
second.
tag them, dude. They make good
Oh,
shit. Promote
They
them.
do,
with
but
our
I don't
with our
have
10 view
permission.
video.
But yeah, okay. So recently, me and Grant have picked up watching Fallout the series. I enjoyed the first episode. We only got the first episode. I think I wasn't sure if he wanted to watch it with Hillary because Hillary was there the first episode. So I'm not sure if we're gonna wait until Hillary shows up. He did say we can watch it tonight. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know if Hillary's there. I kind of hope I'm okay with her watching because I'm the only one with the Amazon account with the ability to show it off to people. Unless Grant wants to wait, no, Grant actually now has Amazon, so never mind. He does have Amazon now. But that's besides the point. It was great. I enjoyed it. Very gory. Literally, there's an episode where a pregnant woman. The first episode has a pregnant woman getting her eyes stabbed out with a fork.
Okay.
Yeah. And another. Yeah. yeah. And like there's like a part where the main character literally stabs someone in the face with like glass, and then he comes back later with like half his face mangled.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it's very, very violent, very gory, and we haven't got to the worst parts yet because they say they do. Someone that was reviewing it say they're doing the VAT stuff where you shoot, where you go into VATs and you shoot, and your bullet slowly hits them in the head, and their brains explode. They say they do that in this show.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I'm kind of hyped. I kind of want to see them do the VAT system, like see if the girl like pops off and says. And then she does a shot and it just blows someone's brains off, or it blows someone's arm off. I kind of want to see that, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. I think I like it. I have also been messing around with my Steam Deck again. I have put an emulator. I put emulators on it, and I'm trying to emulate Pokemon Coliseum, the Pokemon Coliseum with a mod where it introduces the special split in new moves and the fairy type. Which if anyone doesn't know how Pokemon works, in Gens 3 and under, there was a thing called there was no physical special split. The way that it worked was if you were a certain type, that type will just be special, and the other type would just be physical. So normal type was a physical type. So even if you use Hyper Beam, which you think, oh, that's something that's shooting, you're shooting that out. That's not a special move. That is a physical move. But in Gen 4, they did that and they split them up where one's physical, where the moves are actually physical. So like Hyper Beam is a special move, and then Giga Impact, I think it's the equivalent of Hyper Beam, which was the one that's equivalent to Hyper Beam, is the one that is that's a physical move. But yeah, I've been trying to get it set up, and I wanted to. I don't feel like leveling, so I wanted to. I just added some. I'm trying to add some cheats to get the candies in, so I don't have to worry about leveling, and like also get like items in like the medicine, so I don't want to worry about EV training because I think this is a little bit harder. I'm like I just want to EV train the Pokemon so they are fine and they work. Ugh. But every time I try to get the cheats in. Like the mod works completely fine. Every time I try to cheat and put the stuff in, it just crashes. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure that out. If I don't, I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and just play the game like normal. The thing that changes is that your starters, the starters you get at the beginning, in Coliseum, you go off and you catch your starter from Johto. I modded it where it's Hoenn starters instead. And I think there's a bunch of different Hoenn Pokemon as well. So I'm hyped for that. That's why I'm like saying I might just bite the bullet and not have to worry about the cheats, but it would just be a lot faster if I could just mod it in and just put like that stuff in or whatever. Just not have to worry about like level grinding and all that because I just want to put 999 candies. So like if I pick up a new Pokemon, I just level them up close to my old Pokemon. Because if no one knows, Shadow Pokemon don't. There's in this game there's a mechanic called Shadow Pokemon where the Shadow Pokemon can't level up and they have like they have to slowly build your friendship to get moves back. So I want to mod that in as well. I also want to make it where every one step I take 256.
You hatching eggs instantly.
No, they also the Shadow, like they get angry. So Shadow is kind of like friendship and the egg stuff where they are like they'll lose their anger when you walk
Oh, they have
around
a
with
better
them.
bond too.
Yeah. So
Oh.
I want to get rid of that so we can just go ahead. But yeah, that's what's going on with my Steam Deck and what's going on with my show. I did start reading, but I think I bought the book incorrectly. I read so I talked about this a while back in like the 5th episode or like the beginning of the year. That I started reading this book, the book series called Cadaver's Cave, which is in the Warhammer series, and I haven't got the chance to because I didn't continue reading it because I was also listening to podcasts at work, which is the same thing as reading the book because I use an Audible, and I want to buy them in order and then slowly read them. People recommend you don't read them all in exact order because they like read them back to back because they kind of do the same thing up to the end. So I'm like, I'll
They're
wait.
just repetitive.
It's kind of repetitive because it's basically like, oh, he's a good guy, and oh, he's gonna do something that's supposed to be cowardly, but then he runs into something that makes him heroic, and then he has to pretend, and he actually does stuff to make himself heroic. But at the same time, in his inner monologue, he's like, "Oh God, I'm so scared. I don't want to do this. I almost want to run away. I'm gonna run away right now. Up, I ran into the general of the fucking army, so I'm gonna kill him."
Logic flow.
So yeah, and they just say, and it kind of happens the same way over and over again. So I'm like, I don't really, I want to read it, but I'll get to it. But yeah. Uh, to anything else, guys? Anything else about what's going on? We can talk about Dark and Darker, Michael.
Oh man, I don't even know where to begin with that. It's just all over the place. Which right now we probably talked about this earlier, but the multi-classing system finally came out where you can take perks and
Let's
skills from
go.
other classes and put them on your class after leveling them up. And it was it had many kinks even getting rolled out. There were glitches and bugs. The server got rolled back. They did 2 updates that actually made you level up your characters faster so you can actually start multi-classing. Because they kind of realized that, oh, everyone wants to like start multi-class now, but it takes forever to grind your characters up. So they've done all this stuff, and now it's just like a state of organized chaos in the game where everything is like up for grabs. You don't really know who you're fighting when you go into a fight. So I don't know. I haven't played too much of the multi-classing stuff. Just kind of leveling other characters and waiting to see how it settles down. But I think that was their intention because they kind of treated it as like we're launching this to test how it's gonna be, and then
More variety.
go from there.
More variety. Woo.
Yeah, that was my reaction. But I don't know. The implementation
Well-
could have been better. They could have.
Oh, is like one build super overpowered or something? Or is it just
No.
general?
There's just a lot of broken combos that arise just as a result of this.
I have one of those. I don't have a broken combo, but I have a fun combo because I like certain weapons. I use a spear. I like the spear. I like the attack animations for it, and I use a barbarian. And my barbarian, with a spear, since they have usually a spear is only good is on a fighter or a ranger, and rangers don't have good strength, so they have a perk that literally increases their strength. But on my fighter, I get so. First of all, for the stat squish, we were talking about XP squish, which is hilarious because
Oh yeah,
first
was a
time
lot
they
of
did it,
leveling up.
yeah, first they were introducing it. They said, "Oh yeah, you got to get to level 35," and I was like, "Well, my barbarian's 20 at the time when they were like about to introduce multi-class. I was like, oh, my barbarian's level 25. Pushing this is going to take forever. I don't know how Michael's fighter is 56. And I don't know how you did it, Michael, but I just
By only playing one class over and over. I don't like any other classes that much.
Yeah, I know, but yeah. So then the first set squish happened, and my barbarian got to like what I think like level 30. I actually got to level 40. So I was like, oh, I can multi-class now. But then every other class was like low as crap. So I found out, like I turned out, I was like, oh, I had to get these classes to a higher level just so the barbarian can get those classes skills. So I did. So I'm like, damn, I gotta do that. They announced another stat squish. Mark Barbarian went up from 30, like 40 or something, to 56. My fighter, which I grinded during the first stat squish, from level 1 to like 20. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll just start working on them later. It shouldn't be as bad now. And then I also did like my bard got to like I got my bard to level 15. They'd say, oh, we're doing another stat squish. I wake up and I see my fighter's level 40, my barbarian's level 56, and my bard is level 34. And I was like, what the okay.
Yeah, they boosted. It was needed. I'm glad.
Yeah, it was definitely needed because they fucked up. And they were like, so there's this thing called High Roller. And High Roller, they locked up High Roller in going to trading with other players. Trading with other players at level 20.
Yep.
And this was before they even stat squish. So I was like, what the fuck were they thinking? Because taking the time, it would take you about 4 hours, almost, or 4 to 6 hours. Like for the skill of players, they probably get to level 20. If you're in a trio, probably less, in a duo, also less. But still, it takes you about 4 hours just to get to level 20 on one character. Well, with the stat squish, actually, it's not that bad. And I
Yeah, we're
think this.
speedrunning.
I actually think this is fine now. I think
agree.
level 20 with the high roller now is completely okay because the way getting to level 20 at that point you can finish quests which actually give back in the day when they didn't have the fucking stat squish, the XP from the quests were nothing. You wouldn't even get a level from doing a quest. And some of those quests are arbitrarily stupid. One of the quests is you gotta mine an ore. Well, guess what? That ore doesn't exist anymore because they lowered the amount of ore and they don't have ore in one of the maps.
Most of the maps don't have the ore you need, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like, yeah, that, but like Ruby Silver is only mined in the harder area of the 3-man. Guess what? You're not fucking going into a higher 3-man by yourself. That's just stupid. You're just asking to die. Um, and then like the gold ore, which is one of the first fucking quests on the fucking on one of the fighters. It's so brain dead that these people just do not play the game. They do not play the game and don't understand. Like, hey, if you're gonna add this new system, because there's a new system called the Squire, where you can just get your base gear and you select whatever base gear you want. And I think that's great. But then they fuck it up by locking some equipment into doing fucking quests. And you have to do a specific quest with the like merchants. And the merchant for the weaponsmith, one of the quests is locked behind you getting 6 gold ore, which can only be done if you're in high roller and get to the final area of the 3-man map. You cannot get gold ore from anywhere else. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
We had a time trying to get that shit.
And we didn't. We didn't get it. I don't know if you ever went back and
No,
got
I didn't
yours.
go back and get it.
I do want to go back and someday do it, but like it's so brain dead. What they're thinking. It's like the ore was fine. Just make ore random. Just do it all random. No one cares. It's fine. We're going to kill each other because players fight each other. It is fine to have ore everywhere. It doesn't make sense. And the worst part about it is you can say, well, the quest makes it where you have to get it. It's not quest that you can just buy the fucking ore from the shop and just give it to the thing. You have to get it yourself. And for some reason, they lock it behind the first thing. And another one is the first quest for the weaponsmith, which is the guy who does the gold ore. The other first quest is get 5 blue weapons. Blue weapons in low tier, which means that you're not gonna see those blue weapons in the lower tier of the game. You're not gonna see those blue weapons unless there are specific slots, or you're a bard who has high luck, or you're just someone, or you actually just get lucky. You're not seeing blue weapons, and so it's you have to basically wait till level 20 to almost finish that quest as well, and it's just so brain dead, stupid that they do this and they just don't play the game. They don't understand what these quests are like. There's one quest I was so mad about. The ore quest where one of the one of the easier ores to gather. The quest after it makes sense to be the first quest in the series. Better than that blue ore quest. The second quest is just kill 15 skeletons, which is the most common enemy in the game.
Yeah, they reversed the order on that one. I don't know what the move that was there.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm that's my tangent. But I enjoyed it. Like other than the fact it's a rant tangent that I'm very sure the player base for this game is going to understand or get. But it's just me and Michael been like, every time I play the game I'm like, why is this it's the way that they do it? They don't play the game. They don't play the game. Oh, we just know. And the sad thing is, we just like usually you'd be like, oh, the devs don't play the game. Like Overwatch, they don't play the game. That's a joke, but they might. I think the Overwatch devs sometimes do.
They might be like in gold somewhere.
Yeah, they kind of see it and they're like, okay, we get it, and they fix something. Destiny is kind of the same thing where it's like Oh, these guys play the games sometimes. Like especially like recently, they show they play the game. So, but these devs, we don't think they play the game. I
Yeah.
don't think they play the game at all. Because it doesn't make sense. Some of their changes, but yeah, I'm gonna be quiet for a minute. Nathan loves our conversations about Dark and
Hello.
Darker. So yes,
Yeah.
I still
I'm gonna
have
cool
much
off.
to say.
Yeah, I know. No. That's my joke. Is
No,
that
no, no.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I also have nothing to add at the moment. Brain blank. I'm a false podcaster.
He's just so thankful that he doesn't play Dark and Darker.
Yes, precisely. What was it? Someone said Ryan said the servers were down. He couldn't log in. I said it's like a disease has been cured for millions. I was proud of that one. No one responded
mean,
to it. I was
The
sad.
player base was only is like the player base is only like
Yeah, for like
100,000 people.
5,000. You know.
Yeah, 5,000.
Really?
No,
No.
it's
There's like 5,000 active players on the time. That's about it.
yeah, yeah. There's like
Okay.
But the actual player base is 25, 30.
well, yeah,
Really?
because everyone can have a different character, and each character's on the leaderboard. I forgot about that when I was looking at the leaderboard. I was like, oh
Yeah.
wow,
Did it like?
10,000. Yeah,
I was just sorry. I was gonna say like, I thought it was way higher. Did it fall because of all that like controversy? Or, I don't know if you'd call it controversy, but all
It's
the
definitely been on the decline for a while in terms of
the
popularity.
issues. Yeah, I see.
well, I wouldn't say that the issues is legal problems. I think we talked about this in a previous podcast. TLDR is that the guy who's running the game, like the head developer, left a Korean company. I think Nexon. I don't remember. It was
Yeah.
either Nexon or something. They were making the game already, but then Nexon said we're gonna shut it down. Supposedly, from his point of view, they said that they were gonna shut it down. Nexon's point of view was like we weren't gonna shut it down, but when you left, we had to shut it down. So they get into legal issues where they think that they said that he stole assets and all like the development from when he was developing the game.
Yes, yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah. And so he's not down there in legal issues. Right now, it's kind of slowing down where they're in that legalized state where it's probably gonna end with them settling, honestly. Like it's
Mm,
probably gonna end with like them settling saying, oh yeah, we're just gonna do whatever. But yeah.
got you. Oh, glad to see you guys holding up the community fort, keeping Dark and Darker going.
Enjoy
Yeah,
it.
the last one.
If there is one Dark and Darker player, it is Michael. If there are 0 Dark and Darker players,
I'm no
Michael is
longer
dead.
on this earth.
And sometimes, hey, if it was Zero's Dark and Darker player, sometimes me and Michael, one of the
Fine with
things
me. I'll
was,
get a free dungeon.
yeah, free dungeon. Sometimes free dungeon is great. Like, you have it. We one time ran into a dungeon with only like two other teams, and because there's like a thing right now, if you just run your really high gear, uh, less people are trying to get into the dungeon with high gear. So if you run high gear in a dungeon, there's less players in the dungeon actually because no one wants to run high gear dungeons.
Got you. Nice. Well.
I mean, obviously, I was like, I didn't want to talk about Dark and Dark anymore, but
I,
we can,
let me dig in my memory banks. Let me dig in my
Okay.
memory banks.
Let him cook.
I'm cooking. I ate Chinese food today.
Oh, that perfect
Pog,
tangent. Perfect tangent.
Michael, did you eat a Trader Joe's burrito today?
No Trader Joe's burrito today. But after this podcast, I'm gonna eat my leftover wings that I got yesterday from Wingstop. And
Nice.
I've already had this tangent twice, I think.
I'd
So
love
here,
to hear it again.
repeat
Oh
tangent.
my god.
If you were in the call recently, but I in general just like for whatever reason I don't like I haven't eaten a lot of wings in my lifespan. But in the past I don't know year 6 months I've just been on like a wing fiesta, dude. Like I'm trying every place's wings. Like I'm seeing what's out there, dude.
The
And
golden age. The wings
there's
golden
actually so
age.
much heat. There's so much heat out there.
Yeah.
I've been missing. But at least say I had Wingstop wings the other day, and the hot. If you ever find yourself at Wingstop, and you need a flavor of wings, the hot honey is just 10 out of 10 stuff, man. There's nothing more to
Actually,
it than
come true. I had to
10
agree
out
with
of
that.
10 stuff.
My thing is like I like spicy food and all that, but and I like a lot of the spicy wing sauces. But my favorite has always been the garlic parmesan wings. And they're literally the
I
least
see.
spicy ones.
I'm not a huge garlic parmesan fan. I'm gonna be
Dude,
honest. I'm not a.
garlic is like one of the best things ever created on the earth.
I'm not a huge fan of it on the wings. That might be my hot take of
Dude.
this tangent because dude, all the spicy ones are so good, and the hot
I
the hot honey for some reason is just sweet and spicy.
I sauteed garlic last night, put it on my tilapia. I went and ate pizza with my dad today and got a pizza that had like garlic all over it. Dude, I have
Man.
like a protective aura around me to keep people away. It's awesome.
Ugh.
What else? I was gonna say something else. Oh no. Oh. Oh yeah, you've been on this wing trying extravaganza, Michael. You should try all the like weird foods like what I get whenever we eat out. Like that
I am much more likely to do that when you at least are in attendance. Like I'm not ordering the squid or the octopus when on my own.
that sounds
I'm not at
awesome
that.
though.
I know, but I mean it was actually not bad. I just probably am not that ambitious in a solo outing.
Got you. Yeah, the more you try, the better, and the more your taste
It was
buds get.
definitely not bad when we had it.
What are you ranking, Michael? What are you ranking?
What?
What are you ranking the wings? All your wings? Like how are you ranking them?
I haven't had a ton of I wouldn't put these in the same category, but there's a place near me called Bonchon, and it's
yeah.
they have like the Korean
The
fried,
crispy ones, the crispy wings.
yeah, man, oh man,
Yeah, they're my
they're
favorite.
pretty elite.
Or the Korean crispy wings in general are my favorite, not particularly Bonchon, but
But
like they're just so
I agree.
good.
I fully agree. But all right, so recently I've had Popeyes wings, I've had Wingstop, and I've had Buffalo Wild Wings. And Buffalo Wild Wings are not that great. I'm gonna be honest. I was expecting better from the place that it touts it so heavily, but I wasn't feeling the Buffalo Wild Wings. Popeyes wings were surprisingly not bad. They were not like anything to write home about, but they were definitely good. And then Wingstop I've been really liking. That's my mini tier list out of those three that I've had recently and can judge.
Got you.
For me, I haven't really eaten foods. Oh, I went to a bar. That was kind of cool.
Oh
Nathan,
yeah,
if you ever get free time during the Fur Fest, we could probably head over there and you can check it out. It's kind of cool. It's actually pretty close to where I live, but the bar is kind of like a nerd bar where it has a bunch of stuff. They have these things where they actually have potion. The alcoholic drinks are potions, and they're in potions.
that's
So
the
in
coolest
there,
part. That's the coolest part.
yeah, it was so sick. So they had to bring out a little like bottle that's the shape of a potion from like the games that you think. Yeah. And like some of the mixed drinks are really cool. Like I got one that wasn't alcoholic. It was called Potion of Clarity. It was a very like tingy fruit drink. They had lemonade, Sprite, all this stuff. It was very sweet. But it was very good. I definitely next time I'm gonna try to get alcohol. One of the alcohol potions. Like I think a potion of like strength or a potion of healing. It actually has alcohol in it. So yeah,
Yep.
so that's
It
pretty
do
good.
be numbing the pain.
True.
Yeah, like your character, your D&D character.
Wait. Oh yes, true. Yes. Oh,
Yes.
the past several sessions. I forgot that he smokes. I haven't been smoking like 16 cigarettes every 3 seconds. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
So in D&D, I play D. I'm the DM for both of these guys, and Michael's character is just basically like a ranger with a bunch of like cool stuff. He just like little arrows. He misses sometimes.
Very rarely. Very rarely.
Sure. And then we have Grant. Sorry, not Grant. We have Nathan's character, who's kind of like Gambit, but with he's like Gambit and like a Final Fantasy character for Final Fantasy 8, right?
6.
6, where every time he throws his cards and hits an opponent, it's hit, right?
Yeah, it's hit for my character.
Yeah.
It's not like it plays a lot different than like the characters I based it off of, but yeah.
So every time he hits an opponent, he draws a card. His base class draws a card, and it does a random effect. But with his like subclass that we both worked on to make like together to work out like how to do it, his subclass allows him to draw 2 cards. He has like a range of effects. One of the effects is that he makes the enemy go down 25% of their each lose like was it 25% of their HP or
Yeah.
10%?
Max H 25% of the max HP.
Yeah, 25% of their max HP. But he gets the Doom effect from Final Fantasy. But the way we did it in here, instead of it ticking down and him dying, he loses 10% of his max HP until he heals himself or he gets a heal.
Yep. And I've managed to hit that ability on a lot of random mobs, but have I hit it on a boss yet at
I
all?
don't think so. That's the funniest thing.
Very nice.
Yeah. But we recently I basically just buffed everyone incredibly high.
Oh yeah.
I may have went a little overboard, and because Nathan at the end of the set, like I did a calculation, some of his calculations, I was like, if you crit, you do 500 damage. I'm not gonna, I think that's a little too much. I think 100 damage is fine, especially since Nathan's character can just crit with one of his cards. So I was like, oh, he will have a 1 out of 20 chance already. And now it's even lower, which is like, it's actually like 1 in 4 chance or something, or 1 in 3, like 1 in like 5 chance that he can crit. And, or like it's like a lower chance of crit for him. And he has higher crit damage. He paid a lot of money to get higher crit damage. And that's why he can do like 100. And now he also has a 1 in 14 chance to crit, which is lower because he has 2 cards he can draw, and he has an ability where he can choose out of 3 of his cards that he throws out and does. He can choose 3 cards instead of rolling for the 14.
Yep.
It gets crazy. It's like he's going to do high damage now.
Gonna be awesome.
Yeah, everyone else kind of the same deal, except for Sam is more protection. He's more focused on like healing everyone. Grant's character has a high damage too. He's gonna just run through like some of the enemies. I feel like he's gonna like Nathan, Michael, and Grant are just gonna pop off. With high damage from the enemies. And their armor got upgraded, which
I think a lot of sturdy perks.
I've been trying to figure. I don't know if it's gonna work next session, but let's hope. I did find out that I could just. I think I rather had just done this thing where there was like an effect that was like one of the mods. There's like just a magical effect where y'all can click on it and y'all can roll to see what magical effect you could get. Like one of the magical effects was you can have a spell per day that you can cast from the armor.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Very
nice.
nice.
Available.
They're high spells.
Mhm.
They're very high spells. Like I looked at the spells list and it's like, oh, that is a level 7 spell that you can cast for free every single day. By the way, at the max level in D&D, you can only cast level 7 spells. I think it's twice. No, level 7, 8, and 9 spells you can only cast once a day. But with their system, actually, fun fact, with the system that we have right now, I don't like using spell slots. I actually like them using mana. And their mana, they could cast their high level spells more times per day. I think that's just cooler. I just think that I want my players to be overpowered so I can send very hard enemies at them.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
gonna be strong, but the enemies are gonna be strong.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome.
But yeah, um, yeah, that's how it is right now. In our D&D games. I am planning their next campaign, which is funny enough is I just am so excited for the next campaign, even though this campaign we're in right now probably is not ending for a while because they have a lot of things going on.
Yes.
Right now they're away from the main city, but they're also to fight the big bad. But at the same time, they're also supposed to be hunting these they're also hunting monsters from this book module I did to hold them off so they can get free from the city they're in right now, so they can leave and go back to their city, which they are miles away, or they can save up enough money to take a teleporter back to their city. But maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. They've been gone from that city for a month now, so don't know. Another thing is that they're supposed to be also hunting other monsters and other enemies like demigods, but they haven't been doing that recently. So maybe I'll bring that back in someday. Hey.
Don't forget about the scourge.
Oh yeah, well this is a part. That's kind of a part of the monsters that y'all being chased down.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just have I've been watching these YouTube videos from this guy named Pointy Hat, and he makes a lot of D&D. He has a series right now where he has um Witch Lich. They call it Witch Lich, and it's just if a D&D class became a lich, because a lich is a wizard that becomes a lich. So he's been making liches for other D&D class. Like he made one for Artificer, where the Artificer made an artificial robot body that are their phylacteries, which is the thing that allows them to come back to life, and they can hop between those bodies to fight fight the enemies and go out and do stuff. There's one for the barbarian where there's I think that one's called, that's the Scourge. Yeah, that's the Scourge.
So that was fighter. Is that different?
No,
Fighter barbarian?
the fighter is the Death March.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, the Scourge is that the barbarian is so angry that when it kills other people, and it will leave people alive, and those people become the phylactery. So if you do defeat the barbarian, a lich, there's a chance that the people that he left alive will become the scourge and retain all this stuff from the scourge powers. And then the Death March, which is right now, I think between that and another one, is I think that if I was gonna power scale them, because he already has power scale, he already has a couple. I think I would say the top one he did right now is the Bard one, because the Bard one's broken. The Bard one doesn't feel like you can kill anyone unless you kill a whole entire city, almost.
God.
If the Bard is located in a city and they are like a really famous singer, or they're in charge of the whole entire city, if you're a lich, you should be in charge of the whole entire city. You're not killing the Bard Lich. There's a chance that if the Bard Lich captures one of the player characters, it's just not killable. Because what you have to do is that the Bard Lich has a thing where they make their last song before they died, and when they made their last song, if anyone hears that last song, even after the Lich becomes a lich, if they hear it, they become a phylactery, and the lich will just come back to life after someone, if anyone's alive that heard their song.
Shit is wild.
Yeah. So I was like, yo, this one's unkillable, because all the other ones, it's the sorcerer. The sorcerer one's oh, you have to kill a family of evil people. It's okay,
Free.
that one's pretty easy. In my opinion, there was one where I already talked about Artificer one. The fighter one, which is the one they're fighting right now, the Death March, is that they have an army, and if the lich dies, the main body dies, it will pop. It will take over and become. It will morph one of its army soldiers into itself, and become the same thing. I don't remember the Ranger one. I need to keep that one up. But basically, they have a beast companion where their companion and them went on a fight and they fought each other to the death, and so they both died at the same time, and so both the pet and the hunter became a lich. So yeah, that's just a little snippet. I'm not gonna throw those at them. They do have a druid lich they have to deal
Yeah,
with.
we've already dealing with that.
They
We got a
haven't
lot
touched.
on our plate.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the druid lich because druid lich is a little annoying to deal with. But if to be fair, I'll see how they handle her. But yeah. Um, well, that's about it. But the next campaign I want to do, which is probably gonna be next year, I hope. Because I hope we can end this campaign, the campaign we're in right now, this year. Because we are slowly getting back to maybe doing almost a session a week. So hopefully by the end of this year they get this stuff done. But I don't know. It could be this.
Chance.
Yes. The next one is gonna be a Pokemon campaign I want to do. And we're gonna do also
Pokemon.
these smaller campaigns that Nathan had this one game that he talked about. We can actually talk about that game here, Nathan, if you don't mind. The tabletop RPG that you played one
Yeah,
time with the post-apocalyptic one.
yeah. A friend showed me a tabletop. The main thing I liked about it was that it put a ton of power into like the player's hands as far as like describing the world and scenery. Like in every scenario, like you can literally just like make shit up like whenever you want, and it's part of the fun. It's very light on mechanics. Um, it is called Eat the Reich, and it's about a bunch of like crazy, insane vampires, like military vampires sent to go like kill Hitler and shit. Like in like in this like crazy stuff like Mecha Hitler level stuff. So
What
it's
is the
all blown
objective,
out
you
of
may ask?
proportion. What'd you say?
I said, what is the objective, you may ask?
To kill Mecha Hitler.
Thought
Well,
it
to
was really
kill.
just to drink Hitler's blood.
Oh yeah, actually it is
Yeah.
specifically that, but you know, killing him is kind of the process of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like how do I explain? Um, the game is just a series of combats, but like during the combats, um, you'll be fighting groups of enemies as deemed by the like location or whatever, and you basically describe every single like attack you do against them, and you can make up anything. Like, you also have an inventory that has items. So if you have a grappling hook, you can be like I grapple hook onto a building, and it's not like it has to be a building that the DM said was there or anything. You just say I grapple hook onto a building and like kick someone in the face that's on top of that building or something as I shoot up. Stuff like that. And a lot of funner stuff like that. I just have a okay example right now because my brain is slow. But um basically there's other effects too. Like it uses characters and each person can pick a character to play and they all have little special abilities. Like I think my character had like rat swarm or something. So I can like summon a swarm of rats to attack. It like gives me like bonuses in combat or whatever. But yeah, it's just super fun. It's super short, silly, and it really the way it's set up, it really helps provoke people's like imagination for playing. That's like my favorite part.
Mhm.
If you have like a lead pipe in your inventory, you'll get like a bonus to your attack if you describe like an action you do that or so let me back up a little. If you have a like every item, like say the lead pipe will have in parentheses next to it like something like bludgeoning for the lead pipe. And if you like do an action that involves like bludgeoning something with the lead pipe, you get like a bonus to your attack. And that it's like a little nice guideline for helping you think up of stuff to do. You can do whatever you want. Oh, one time I did like what was it? It was fighting something. I think we were fighting like some kind of boss, and I did like 3 backflips in midair, and then like
Casually.
while shooting and stuff. And then the DM told me that I actually had one more action, so I did another backflip in the air while I was still just like floating there, and then shot again. I can't, but it was awesome. Um, it's like a 2 to 3 session game, basically. Very fun.
Yeah, I think it's cool that it's like you can bang it out kind of quick, and it's just like a
Yeah, and meant to be goofy and
Yeah,
fun,
exactly,
and
exactly.
it's meant to be imaginative with it. So that's the main thing.
All right. Well, we can slow down. We're gonna talk about. Let's just slow down a bit since it's about to be. We're almost at the hour mark, which is all good and dandy. Um. So what's everyone's plans in the coming up? I, for one, the next week, my job has this thing that every quarter we have this thing where we basically have at home work for the whole entire week basically. They are actually updating it where we do have to come in on these readings, but we might be getting less office work in the future, which is super
So you have
cool.
more remote days.
Yes, we might be getting more remote days.
God, I wish that was me.
Yeah, I, I I feel I feel bad. I think you have more. Well, we both have more justification for why we should be working from home. Like you don't. I don't think you need to be there at your job at all. But your
I
job's
do a
kind of
little
weird
bit.
about it.
I'd like to go in, like, even going in 3 days a week would be perfectly fine. I mean, but going in 2 days a week with 3 work from home, I could get like, it would be perfecto. So, but that is
Yeah,
not how it is.
yeah. I don't even I don't even know how I could handle honestly 5-day work week.
I was not handling the 5-day work week well at all. I was looking for new jobs when they implemented my work from home day.
You're like,
And that's
well, I
what made me
guess.
not quit.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Work from home is very, very good, especially when like there's some work from home jobs where you're worked to the bone and you're watched the whole time. Those suck. But I mean like 95% of them are not like that. So, yeah. Very, very nice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're gonna call it there. I appreciate everyone watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring that bell to get notified when another episode is out. Leave a comment down below to see if you want to talk about anything, and just tell us how you feel. Like, what do you think? What's the next things we need to? Maybe we need to figure out what we're gonna do in the next episode. But
Next
I enjoyed the time.
episode.
I enjoyed our time here, and thanks, Nathan, for coming out. I know you usually aren't able to do episodes as much. You've been busy. But yeah. Okay, everyone. Thanks for watching.
In Taylor's
Later.
stead. In Taylor's stead. We have to say it.
Hey,
Peace to the
Taylor
Middle
Stead.
East.
Peace to the Middle East.
It matters
Oh,
more
peace to
now than
the.
it ever did before.
Oh, God, dude. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
Oh, goodness.
I will get on a tangent. We talk about politics.
It's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Go to podcast bed.
Podcast bed.
Oh, Nathan, it's getting past your bedtime, buddy. Don't you have to
Bruh.
go to work tomorrow?
I wish
All
not.
right.
All right.
Later, everyone.
Later.
Farewell.